This is Michael Popok for the new Legal AF channel. You know how you know that Donald Trump knows he's losing the election? Because his surrogates are campaigning right now in the battleground state of the Balkans. Yes, Eastern Europe, Albania, Romania, Serbia. That's where Don Jr. is right now to try to drum up Serbian American, Albanian American, and Romanian American votes for Donald Trump in battleground states. That's how desperate they are. They're now searching the couch cushions, looking for pocket change to try to win this election. Things are going so poorly for Donald Trump that this is just yet another example of what I've been saying for the last month and what we're observing. Donald Trump has no real intention of winning the presidency. I mean, when he told that reporter recently that in 2028, if he doesn't win now and he ends up being a two-time presidential loser, which is likely, that he'll never run at 82 years old in 2028. Whew, that's a relief. But what he really cares about is leaving his family in a better financial position and benefiting Jared Kushner and his billion-dollar fund in the investments that they want to make in the Balkans in hotels. I'll tie it all together on this hot take exclusively for the Legal AF YouTube channel. Here we go. Let's start with what the heck is Don Jr. doing talking to an audience in the Balkans to try to drum up support for his father's campaign.
The reality of these days is
they are that desperate. And now I'm going to play you a clip. Don't adjust your sound. Don't go to the transcript. It is in the native tongue of the place that he's located at, a place that calls Donald Trump Donalda Trumpa. That's my poor accent. Let's roll that clip, and then I'll tell you what he said during that particular speech or interview in which he tried to undermine our alliances with Western Europe and NATO while trying to drum up another vote or two for his father in America. Let's roll the clip.
The reality of these days is
Realnost ovih dana je da je Amerika u posljednje 4 godine otišla iz napretka u bedu, iz mira u rat, iz zdravog razuma u ludost. Vidimo i kako se Amerika raspada i to me podsjeća na komunističku Evropu pre nekoliko decenija. Politički sam aktivan, u očevom sam timu i ako ćemo da se borimo, borit ćemo se do kraja. To je naš stil.
Let's peel the layers back here. He's appealing to the worst instincts of these countries, many of them which are borderline dictatorships, or at least right-wing conservative countries, to try to scare the crap out of them, to say that we've, for too long, Don Jr. told this group, too long been pandering to the West, where the real money should be invested is in the East, in Eastern Europe, and in the Balkans, and put all the money there. And then he said, as part of being a traitor and being treasonous, he said that American foreign policy and American politicians are more intent on keeping the war machine alive in Ukraine. See, he wants his father to magically solve Ukraine. He'll just do it telepathically. And by the way, if he had a solution for Ukraine that didn't consist of a complete and total capitulation by the Ukrainians and by Zelensky to give over 40% of their country over to Putin because he wants it, because he wants to reunite the old Soviet Union, I like to hear it. Because every plan I've ever heard from Donald Trump has to be let Putin keep what he's already gotten, meaning completely ignore the sovereignty of a country, a democratic country that's yearning to breathe free and be in NATO. Just give him the 40%. Why don't we do that here? Is that what Donald Trump's going to do here? Why don't we make peace with the Canadians and the Mexicans? Why don't we give up, all the territory along those borders and give up 40% of our country? So long, Texas. So long, California. So long, Louisiana. It was nice knowing you. So long, Maine. We always thought you were part of Canada anyway. Is that where we're going? So you might be asking, we're 40 days away from an election. A binary choice is going to be made by the American people to pull a switch, electronically or otherwise, to vote for their candidate of choice. Every moment, every day matters. And look at the campaign strategy of Donald Trump. Have you ever seen, I defy you to tell me another presidential candidate, that in the middle of the campaign, in the last home stretch of the last 40 days, he's as busy selling cryptocurrency along with getting into bed with other criminals, admitted criminals, in advancing a new platform that Donald Trump and his family are a part of, and selling silver fake coins, right, as a major grift. He's more involved with that than he is actually campaigning. The retail politics, the shoe leather, right? Pressing the flesh and the baby kissing that's necessary in order to win an election. The local interviews you have to do in the battleground states. He's phoning this in. And when he's not doing it, J.D. Vance is sticking his big fat foot, his Bigfoot size 9 Oxford, directly into his mouth. That fake hillbilly, who's really a Silicon Valley entrepreneur masquerading as a hillbilly, a one-time author, a fabulist that constantly undermines Donald Trump's campaign, whatever campaign it is. So instead of every moment, every day, the way with a fervent pitch, with a hair on fire approach like Kamala Harris and Tim Walz that we're seeing. You want to look at two people that are trying to win the presidency, trying to earn your vote and not insult you and patronize you? That's Walz. That's Kamala Harris. What's the other side doing? Phoning it in to Newsmax and Fox News and radio shows and social media posts. The bigger the caps, I guess Donald Trump thinks, the more likely his chances of winning in his late night screeds. And in this last moment, instead of going to one of the battleground states, instead of sleeping, basically pitching a tent in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and North Carolina to try to make sure that 40,000 votes out of hundreds and millions that are cast don't decide this election, what's Donald Trump doing? Sending his major surrogate, Don Jr., to the Balkans, the battleground territory, trying to drum up a couple of Albanian American or Romanian American or Serbian American votes. That's not what he's doing. Let me expose it here. What the Trump organized crime family is doing, of which Jared Kushner is a major capo, is trying to make sure that they're better off from this campaign than they were 4 years ago. That's all they're doing. It's public knowledge that Jared Kushner and his Playboy fund of $1 billion wants to invest to buy up old, decaying hotels in the Balkans, and rehabilitate them, refurbish them, and make a lot of money. And that will redound to the benefit of the Trump family as well. That's all they're doing. Why would you spend valuable time and a reduced limited amount of oxygen for your campaign on trying to sell silver coins with Donald Trump's face on it? Try to sell cryptocurrency the day after an assassination attempt, no less, exploiting and splurging and just dissipating any goodwill that he might have gotten from that moment in time when Americans could have pulled together and say, we don't want our presidential candidates and have their heads blown off. No, that was an exquisite moment of commercial timing to sell crypto for Donald Trump. I defy you, go on Donald Trump's X account. Hold your nose and go on his X account and tell me if that's an account. And we're going to put up a couple of it now. Tell me if that's an account for somebody who's a serious person running for the highest office in the land. I couldn't even find most things that deal with policy, right? Values. All I see is attacks on Kamala Harris and trying to sell cryptocurrency or silver coins. That's where we're at. And then I defy you to tell me what Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles, the campaign directors, or Corey Lewandowski are doing on a day-to-day basis to drum up votes. They send Don Jr. Trump doesn't have that many proxies that can campaign for him. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have the Obamas, the Clintons, Joe Biden, the current president, Oprah Winfrey, Taylor Swift, out drumming up support. I mean, I get emails 10, 12 an hour from people asking for money, famous people. Jimmy Kimmel. Who does Donald Trump have? Kid Rock? RFK Jr.? Seriously. But, Kimberly Guilfoyle, Lara Trump, Don Jr., these are people that Melania, where is Melania on the campaign trail? Where is she with that vaguely foreign European accent addressing a crowd of people at a rally? Where is he saying, bring out Melania? No, she's busy shilling her own book. She's tied up right now with Melania, the memoir, defending her soft porn photos from a number of years ago, speculating as to maybe there was a conspiracy theory around the one of two assassination attempts, sticking it to Donald Trump who's constantly embarrassing her and making and demeaning her because of all these stories. Now up to the number of 26 of women who've come out against Donald Trump and claimed, including in sworn testimony in court, that they've been sexually assaulted by him. That's what she's doing. So Don Jr., perfect time to go to the battleground of the Balkans, as if that was the 51st state. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm doing it here, though. Now's my chance to make a direct pitch to you. You're already here. Free subscribe to the Legal AF YouTube channel. It's brand new. It's in collaboration with the Midas Touch Network and the brothers. What else? I'm here curating, as I always have, at the intersection of law and politics, the top stories, bringing you some new content you can only find here on Legal AF MTN. Free subscribe. Help us get to 100,000 subscribers before the weekend. That's our goal. We can do it. We're more than half. We're 2/3 of the way there right now. This is your opportunity. You might have missed the build to get the first 100,000 for the Midas Touch Network. Help us. Help us do it. We're bringing you some new content on a regular basis right here every day on the Legal AF MTN. We're doing a new show. It's called Unprecedented, where we're going to be following the Supreme Court every day from the start of the term, first Monday of October, all the way till the end in July. And bringing you content providers and moderators and other people that you've come to expect and enjoy, and including some new people from the Midas Touch Network. So until my next hot take, until my next exclusive content right here on Legal AF MTN, free subscribe. Until my next Legal AF podcast, which is on the Midas Touch Network. This is Michael Popok, and I'm reporting. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.